No new friends. No new friends. Football fans. Football. They sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up. The champs is in. Yeah. Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booger bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even me that I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Young is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, that on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon, I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing. Don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos. Plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean. About the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. Gamma stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matt Black, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a low.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Two teams that have met at least twice a year since 1932. The Lions and Packers underway from Lambeau. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Now they'll run on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw here. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. They convert on third with a gain of 22. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. Just feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. That good for 19 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, is working really well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers now on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there, Rodgers to Adams, 45 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Rodgers now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
3-19! Detroit! 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 Leopard!
Back to throw. Buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On first down, Murray trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. On play action, Rodgers. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. Gonna look deep for Wilson. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Leopard, Leopard. Gone.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. He may try, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because they don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and just like that, it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Looking deep for Adams. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he's got room. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
I can't help but laugh. And the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting starters carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. Now a handoff working right. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And Tate's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
58.
Now a play fake. Rodgers out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over. He's got a man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Josh Jones in on the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They run a draw here on second down. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Adams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Rodgers now on 1st down. That is caught inside the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
They give it to him running left. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Packers are back within a score. So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for 2. They'll try to run with Murray. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, you picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again. So
a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8. To throw here. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over, is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
It's a first down, and that catch also puts him at 150 yards receiving now for the game. Some good gains going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. The two big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Complete out right to Kurz. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
They'll look to throw. And Adams has it complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The incredible comeback nearly complete. A chance to go ahead here on 1st and goal. Now they'll run. Murray. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Reset. Hey, easy.
They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Well, Charles, an absolutely thrilling finish there at the end, down to the final play. Got it close to the goal line, but couldn't punch it in.
How much fun was that ending, though, for us?
We were standing up.
I had to. You had to get out of your seat for that one. That close to the goal line? Oh, that was fun.
So for the Lions, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Look at you go!